CD wouldn't be able to do nothing. Like, he wouldn't be able to pout in public because he would really have to. Because he couldn't get every pass.
Wait.
I don't know, man.
Wait. LA. Look, I often call out CeeDee Lamb in the moment when he's doing all that stuff. But brother, January 13th, that's what we doing. We talking about we need to get Stephon Diggs because CeeDee Lamb be pouting. CeeDee Lamb should be the least.
Nah, man, we need we need a good number 2. He'll still be the 2.
Okay, cool, but we ain't got to tear down CeeDee Lamb in the process. What CeeDee Lamb got to do with this nonsense?
Nah, man, it's the off season. That dude needs off season peanut butter on his on field manner. He needs a lot of off season peanut butter on how he conducts himself in these games. I'm tired of watching my 88 be a fucking whiny kid, man.
Oh, LA,
and they just paid this.
LA, don't get so wrapped.
And I didn't get no Super Bowl again this year, man.
There you go. Be mad at that on January 13th. Be mad at a dude played through it. Look, if anything, CD should have get a little bit of grace playing through that shoulder injury. LA said, man,
I don't know, man. I've played with an AC joint. As much pain as he was in all the time, I was tired of that shit. Like everybody else, when we playing through stuff, he was playing it up for the cat. Now, granted, maybe he'll get a lotion deal out of this. You know, like maybe he'll get a Band-Aid deal out of this shit or something. You know, like you know, like I want the brother to get paid. You know, like you know, he's not a bad looking dude. You know, like shit. You know, like Colgate smile and shit. I don't care, but the only thing I'm saying is you a football player. You a whole ass football player.
Yeah.
You're a whole ass football player. And you don't need it. Like, we already know you hurt, man.
Abdul Carter, pass rusher out of Penn State, who, I mean, reality is he probably won't make it that far. But hey, I didn't think Micah would fall to 12. But
sure. Funny you said that. My one word, Micah. Or Micah's son. You can put that in a compound words. So he's not quite Micah Parsons, right? Because Micah is a ridiculous big 4-3 running character. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Abdul's gonna run a 4-3. But I will say this though. The pass rusher that Micah Parsons is, he wasn't that at Penn State. And people can come on here and fuss on the internet all they want to. Show me the Penn State film where Micah was doing cowboy Micah things. He wasn't doing it. He was doing some blitzy linebacker stuff. And he was able to kind of run around guys, but he wasn't the guy that he is now. I stand on business with that. But Abdul Carter,
I wonder if Micah set the stage though for James Franklin and them to say, hey, let's try Abdul here because we saw what Micah could have been had he been a full-time rusher.
Something you gonna learn when you just keep watching guys. You gonna see a lot of defensive players. They all wear number 11. And they all move around between linebacker and defensive end. They all do it.
There's another.
Alabama got one. Georgia got one. Texas got one. I believe Tennessee got a guy. And they all wear 11, Scott. Bothers the hell out of me. I see what y'all trying to do. But Abdul Carter, if you watch his 2023 film, he was like all linebacker. He was really Micah Parsons' film at that point. He was a linebacker and he'll blitz and he'll look really good as a pass rusher sometimes. But they was like, hey, man, what are we doing? Let's just put him on the line of scrimmage and just see what happens. And Carter just constantly kept running around people, man. And he really doesn't even know how to pass rush yet. He's just doing this all on ability. So first round grade for sure. But the Cowboys won too many games to get Abdul Carter, in my personal opinion.
By a show of hands, would anybody be surprised if Kellen Moore is hired and Jason Witten follows suit? Would anybody be surprised? Absolutely not. Because that's what they want. That's what they told Mike McCarthy. There will be no resistance from Kellen. It'd probably be no pushback from the players in regards to Kellen. And when I mean by pushback, I mean he won't push back on the players. I look, because there's weird people out on Twitter. I'm sure they will respect Kellen in the sense of, hey man, this is our coach. I respect you as peer-to-peer, or my colleague would have you. But when it comes down to brass taxes, like this committee said, can he command the room? Can he be a leader of men? I question that. You can say, oh, Sky, I'm sorry. I question it. I hope he's learned some things over the years and is able to, but I still question that. I truly believe they will need to surround Kellen Moore with that strong personality or multiple strong personalities. If you bring on Kellen, I think you have to bring on a Robert Saleh. You have to bring on a Jason Witten. Unfortunately, right? I mean, I think, but you probably have to. Because if you bring on Kellen Moore types under Kellen Moore, oh, brother. Y'all remember Wade Phillips from 08? Or was it like 08 to 2010? If y'all don't remember that, just the phrase, the inmates were running the asylum.
I'll say this. The best this offense has looked in the last decade, maybe, outside of 2016 when they had the offensive line really rocking and rolling.
Right.
Was probably like that early season 2019-ish stretch when they were just rolling through people, or 2020 before, and it was the first year Kellen was the offensive coordinator, like the first 5 or 6 games, he was just ham. And it was when they first put in the Connor McGovern fullback package, all that stuff, right? He was all over the place. It was like crazy stuff going on, right? And then all of a sudden it just all dialed back like mid-season. Like they were the best offense in the league by a ton. They were going crazy, putting up a ton of points, and then all of a sudden it all dialed way, way back. And I don't know. And the thing is that like it's hard to know. I don't think that call came from Kellen. Like, oh, I'm going to stop calling all the cool stuff. So did it come from the head coach at the time? Did it come from the ownership, front office, all that kind of stuff? Who knows? But I do know that, like,
I think yes. Didn't Steven come out and say at one point, "Hey, we probably held him back a little bit"? That was.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that's one of those things that, like, and now you got to play a lot of ifs and buts in this situation because we're working with half a deck because we're working with the Jones family. Correct. And what their restrictions are. Because I'm with you. Go get me Joe Brady. Go get me Sark from Texas. Like, go get me somebody that like has called and run like really, really high level offensive game plans at a championship level. But knowing that's not going to happen and knowing our 3 best choices are probably Deion Sanders, Jason Witten, and Kellen Moore, I will take Kellen Moore, and the certainty that I know what an offense led by Kellen Moore with Dak Prescott under center can look like. And I also know, Bobby Belt's been doing a lot of reporting over the last couple of weeks. I know that Kellen has been held back by the head coaches that were on top of him, by the front office and ownership and all that kind of stuff. Now, if he agrees to come back to Dallas while he's the offensive coordinator for probably arguably the most talented team in the league, right? With the most aggressive front office in the league, with everything that he could possibly need to succeed. If he agrees to leave that, where he's probably making close to head coach money anyway, and come back to Dallas to be the head coach, he's probably doing it with some assurances that, hey, you're going to get to run your stuff. And then you add on the fact that, and I dropped in the chat a couple times earlier, my name for offensive line is a super young guy that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's TJ Paganetti, I believe is his last name. He's the assistant run game coordinator Philly, right? And offensive line coach for Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. So he's been in Philadelphia back and forth since. So he was at Oregon with Chip Kelly, then went to Philadelphia with Chip Kelly, then back to Oregon. And then 2017, when Doug Peterson got hired, or when Doug Peterson was there, he rehired him. And he's been involved with the run game in Philadelphia since 2017.
Give me anybody that touched Stoutland. Anybody from Stoutland, 100% put
exactly. I joke. I want people that have touched the robe of certain guys, right? I want certain guys who've like touched the robe of a Shanahan or McVay, like the offensive line thing. Give me somebody who's touched Stoutland's robe for a year or two, and bring that to me and let me incorporate that. And I've also said to a couple of people, like, the fact that you've got a guy coming in. Probably, I mean, we're talking like it's going to happen. But if Kellen comes in,
that way.
Coach, yeah. If Kellen comes in as a head coach, he has now spent a year with Stoutland, essentially learning what does a real full-scale run game install look like when it's going to be the focal point of your offense. And he stood there on the sideline with a play sheet and called more runs this year than anybody else in the league.
That part right there, Joey, if I may. So you believe that bringing on the assistant, will provide Kellen that guy that says, hey, our run game is a part of this offense. That's something that I said to the caller. If you can assure me that this is the positive part of Kellen, if you can assure me that I can get somebody in here that takes the O-line scheme serious, the run scheme serious, and then the run game is going to be a part of the DNA of your offense, I can see the appeal of a Kellen Moore who, when I say appeal, I mean offensive mind wise. Like he's not dumb. He's drawn up some things. It's just I don't think he has a feel for the game because he wants to what? He wants to throw the ball. He wants to spread it out. He wants to be that type of guy. He needs to have somebody that counters him. What would be the most enticing thing to coach here? Like why outside of it being Dallas would he want to coach here, given that he is the alpha of all alphas, has total control where he's at, wants that total control, and he has to understand that's likely not to happen here in Dallas. Why would he want to coach here?
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. Now, the only thing would be kind of what you're talking about, which is, okay, you serve your ego by coaching the highest profile franchise in the National Football League. And what would be bigger than making Dallas a winner again? Nothing.
Yeah.
But, the thing he has in Colorado is something that he's built that's all his. Mm-hmm. And he's building something to create a legacy, at Colorado. If he can get it flipped and make them a perennial, contender in the CFP, he can be his own deal in Colorado, much like, Bear Bryant is at Alabama or Nick Saban is at Alabama, Dabo Swinney, all those names who are associated with schools, what Marcus Freeman is doing at Notre Dame. He could do that at Colorado and be a legend forever. Now you can do that at Dallas and be one of the biggest things ever. But he's already got it started at Colorado, and it's all his at Colorado. At Dallas, it's never going to be all yours. It's going to be yours and Jerry's.
That's that part right there. And I won't ask you to tell me who you think is going to be the coach, because trying to get in Jerry's head is almost impossible. But who's your top choice for the job?
Well, I mean, I think if you just look at Jerry's history, Kellen Moore seems to check all the boxes, meaning he's familiar with Kellen Moore because they've worked together. Kellen Moore understands how the franchise works. Kellen Moore has a relationship with Dak. He's had success with Dak. He's in charge of the big knock on Kellen Moore was he won't run the ball. Well, he got a terrific running back, and now they led the league in rushing attempts at 65%. He's got a 2,000-yard rusher in Saquon Barkley. They may go to the NFC Championship game, somewhere Dallas hasn't been since the 1995 season. And then he's not going to cost a lot of money. I don't know what he makes now, but I feel confident that you could pay him exactly what you were paying Mike McCarthy, and it would be a significant raise for Kellen Moore. So, all those things, Jerry tends to like. The one downside is he's first-time head coach. And doesn't matter who you are, first time you do anything, there's a learning curve.
Yeah.
And Jerry, at his age, ain't got time for a whole lot of learning curve. So, but the leader in the clubhouse, to me, in my mind, would be a Kellen Moore. I'd like to see them. That's not who I think would be the best coach, but there's been no indication that they're going to. I'd rather have Robert Saleh than Kellen Moore. But I think Kellen Moore is the guy that the Cowboys would pick because of all the reasons I just laid out.
If you come to Dallas, you better be prepared for this shit here, man.
100%, Mr. Wolf. But hey,
I fired Mike McCarthy because he looks like a pork chop. And I hate that big-ass play call sheet he holds during games. We all know it's a Perkins menu. I'm not even sure we need a coach. Hell, maybe we already have a coach in mind. Maybe he's sitting right in front of you, half drunk on Johnny Walker Blue with only an Egg McMuffin in his belly and a pocket full of Dinger pills.
Dinger pills is crazy.
Pocket full of Dinger pills is wild.
Dinger pill is nuts, man.
They're not blue chew, not just Dinger pills. Wait, what you say now, Jerry?
Maybe he's 82 years old and needs his ass wiped from time to time, depending on how much Salisbury steak he's eating.
The Salisbury steak is crazy.
It's so detailed. Why is it that like that's what's so funny about? Why is it so detailed?
Why Salisbury State? Anyway, what else, Jerry?
Look, I'm going to do things my way, and my way is fucking terrible. But if you don't like it, then tough titty said the kitty, but the milk kept coming.
Bars! That's a bar! I don't know what y'all talking about.
Did you hear what I said?
Tough titty said the kitty, but the milk kept coming.
That's tough, bro.
I'm about to change the name to this. That's going to be the name of the title today.
The tough titty.
Tough titty said the kitty.
The tough titty pod is crazy.
Send us home, Jerry.
Listen, I'm never going to die, mother. I drink 8 ounces of hog's blood every day, and I'm a vampire feeding off mass disappointment. So learn how to accept meaningless primetime games forever. What I'm looking for in our next head coach is someone that values analytics and also someone that lets me take he and his wife to a Hojo's and sit in the cuck chair.
Oh, Jerry's wild boy, bro. Shouts out to DNP Sports Burner on Twitter. If y'all want to listen to that over and over for a good laugh, please head on over there.
Tough titty says the kitty,
but the milk kept coming.